Okay, how do you get your ends to be in the right place every time? Get it perfect every time. Well, you're not, but I'm doing this right now. I'm holding up two sticks to show you guys that the tip of your ear, right at the top here, if you hold up a stick, and now I have put some makeup on at the end of the stick, so that way I can mark my spot and show you guys that if you do this, just straight across, make sure it's straight across right here. And I'm just going to mark the area so you guys can see what I am talking about right here. See? Okay. Do you see the mark? This is really going to help in not going too long or too low. Now for the arch. Pinch of the nose right in this cradle area here, not the side of the nose. Right over here. And you see the iris right over and in an angle, you guys. Just right up here. See that? And now I'm going to mark my spot right here. And I've marked my spot right here, went too low. Okay, so at this point, I'm actually going to, from that dot, I'm going to go a little bit higher or make a little line, just a tiny little angle line right there. Same for here. I'm just going to make a little tiny angle line. Even just doing this, you guys can see, oh, I'm not as even as I thought. That's where our glasses lay different, because if you lay it on the table, you guys notice it's not as perfectly symmetrical, but when you put it on, you're like, oh, it's even, because our face is so not even. You guys know my brows are tattooed. I had them tattooed a long time ago, over 10 years ago, and it's faded quite a bit. That's why I've been able to put some concealer on and cover as much as I can. And I can show you guys all different shapes and sizes and mistakes and tips and how to correct them. I'm going to go right in the middle and just go kind of in an angle, but not straight down. Okay, you want to go more of an outside line, a tiny one. Same thing, you just want to go a little bit. See that little line? Because if you want your ends to get longer or be longer, you could always do that once the brows are fully on there. Now you notice that I'm just adding color right here towards the end, and I'm just taking it out a tiny bit. I'm not going too low. I'm just building on that little line that I just made. Now the color is obviously very dark, and that's partly because I have that concealer underneath, so it's causing the color to go on really dark. But hey, you guys, this is all about the demonstration, all about the shape, right? Now I'm going a little bit higher in this area because naturally my eyebrow goes a little bit further down here. This one naturally goes up, so I just want to lower that. And that's another thing. You guys can really see how even or not even your brows are, or if you guys already know, and how do you correct that? Well, this is just a great way to do that. You just go back and forth. So I've done this, and I'm going higher here, and then I'm going lower here, higher here. And notice that I'm keeping my ends kind of short. Now for Asians, our face are a little wider. Our eyelid, we have a lot of space. We tend to have a lot more hair on the top. We don't have a lot of hair on the bottom, so Asians do not tweeze too much on the bottom, because then your eyebrows can just go up higher, then it gets thinner, then you got all this space on your eyelid. Okay, and so for the rest of you, you can go a little bit longer on your ends, or even actually go a little bit further down this way. But for all of us, we want to stay out here. It just looks better. As you can see, it works. Now, if I went like this, you guys can see how it's just a little short, right? Oh, like her ends are a little tiny. But if I look straight at you, it makes sense. Okay, so here I am just going down, going up here. And then I'm just going down a tiny bit. I'm looking at myself and going, okay, well, this one can go a little bit lower. And that's pretty much it. If you want your arch to be a little bit higher and thinner, really, more kind of an arch, I'm using foundation. You guys can use a concealer. I'm taking off the marks here and here, so that way you guys can obviously see. Okay, so I'm using, you guys can use a highlighter. I'm using a foundation, and I'm just lifting and a tiny bit here and getting a cleaner look. Not too much. The idea is to have a little bit straighter. How easy is that? Same here. This one I'm going to go just a tiny bit higher. I'm talking real stiff because my hand is over my mouth. Okay, so there you go. And you guys, it just makes such a huge difference, right? What do you think? Pretty good. Now, please try it out. Let me know if it works. definitely subscribe so you get this tip and so many more that I have. Thank you guys.